Hi, I'm David Norris, and I'm serving up the perfect podcast, Pompey Platter with Russ, Daz and Haz. Play up, Pompey!
Murphy scores! A magnificent goal! That's just wonderful from Josh Murphy! Shaughnessy, great saving! Shaughnessy at the near post! Chance for Colby Bishop over the goalkeeper, off the post and into the back of the net! Colby Bishop! Lang's got his fourth! A fourth for Callum Lang!
Hello everyone and welcome to the Pompey Platter podcast, Season 2, Episode 24. Welcome to Pompey, Ebou Adams. I am joined always by Haz. Hello Haz.
We've got Adams, Ebou Adams. Just don't think you understand. He can't hold a pen. We're staying up again. We've got Ebou Adams.
And we got a special guest from the red and white side of things. Evening, Daz.
All right, you mutants. What's going on?
So
Hey, none of us
review-
sit in the North Stand. We're all right.
yeah, we're not mutants.
We're not North Stand mutants.
Right, so tonight we're going to review the South Coast Derby. We're going to look ahead towards the West Brom game and the Ipswich game.
It is Ipswich. Well done.
Yeah, I was just double checking I had the right week. And then we'll have a look at some transfers, rumours, / we have made a signing. And then the outgoings possibly before we move on to Daz's disorganised, disastrous day.
Yeah, boy.
Taskmaster and Harry's Who Am I? Right, let's kick things off with what I thought. That's a proper derby Sunday. I don't know what you boys
It
thought.
was definitely more of a derby than what they decided to try and produce at their shithole, wasn't it? It was more up for it. The crowd were better, as in the home fans. The players were up for it. We had a scrap. We had some tackles. That's what a derby is about. And that's why I ended up with no voice.
Yeah, no voice. I was knackered after the game.
Yeah, it was very emotional.
It was. I was so exhausted afterwards. Just the pure hatred that you feel the moment you get there and you just see them. We got there early, made sure we booed the hell out of them as soon as they even got out of the tunnel.
Yeah, so I was still I was still having my pint before, and the boo I heard, I was like, "Fucking hell!" And I quickly ran up and joined in. And I just thought, you just know it's a big occasion where everyone's in their seats during the warm up, and even once the warm up had finished, the whole stadium was full. Before everyone's there, before the teams have come out, normally you can see holes where people are kind of slopping in 5 minutes in and that, but everyone was there. Proper occasion.
Yeah, I think every scum game I've been to, it's always been the same. Everyone's there early, making plenty of noise. And, but Daz, I would say, probably a better display from us in the first half. They would probably argue they had the better chances, but I felt like we looked the more dangerous team. I don't know how you felt.
To be honest, I thought that was the ongoing thing for the whole of the game. To be honest, well, I think we took control of the ball a lot better. But obviously, as you said, Russ, they probably had the best clear-cut opportunities. I think we could have matched them in that if, when we'd got into the final third, we'd just been a little bit quicker. Every now and again, one too many touches and sort of weren't playing the ball just quick enough. And I felt if we had done that, one instance I could think of the top of my head was Segatic had the ball out on the right hand side, and it looked like he could have cut back to Chaplin on the edge of the box, but kind of took it on himself, and then I think the ball then did come out to Chaplin in the end. And do you know what? I don't mind that. It's not the end of the world because he still created a bit of an opportunity. But I felt if we'd have maybe just moved the ball, especially in that final third, maybe one or two touches earlier, I think we could have had better openings and maybe shooting on sight a bit more. But yeah, it was a good first half. I mean, as I said, I think it's a good. The whole game was pretty good up until obviously they had scored, and then maybe 5 or 10 minutes after that, because I think we were a bit all over the place in a way, and I think they tried to take control. But yeah, I thought, and especially how we set up with our starting, mainly our back four, which obviously comprised of one centre back that's barely played any football really, and then 3 fullbacks. So I was quite nervous going into that first half, but to be honest, I thought they settled quite well. I think them maybe not having a big target man up top helped us, because obviously there's going to be nothing in the air. So apart from bow out, we had no height, did we? So, but yeah, I think that they had the better opportunities, but I think we controlled the game better.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Haz, but I was really impressed, especially in the first half, with Ali. I thought he looked the more dangerous out of anyone else going forward.
Yeah, and I was talking to Den, the guy I sit with, and his profile was really similar to Josh Murphy, just on a slightly lesser level. As in, he's got the ability to go touchline or cut inside. He's got the pace to beat a man. He's got the skill to beat a man. It's just not quite as crisp as Josh Murphy, but to have someone, while we don't have Josh Murphy while he's out injured, to have someone that can almost be Josh Murphy is what we've been lacking, because you saw the ball he put in against Sheffield Wednesday was kind of Josh Murphy-esque with that left foot. The ball he put in for Watford was kind of Josh Murphy-esque, and we haven't got another winger until Ali arrived that can do what Murphy can do. And I think that's where Ali's come in and shown that if you can get Ali on the right and Murphy on the left, excuse me, that would cause real problems.
Yeah, I was thoroughly impressed with Ali, and have been so far, to be fair.
Oh, yeah.
Second half though, I would say it was a bit more cagier, a little bit more nervous. I felt
they definitely came out as the better team, and I think
they came out. I felt like they came out wanting.
Yeah, so I think their half-time team talk was go out there, press, high energy, go get that goal. And then once they went one up, I felt like they were happy to sit back and kind of take it, which is basically what happened. And where they stepped up the intensity in that first half, in the second half, we looked quite shell-shocked and like we didn't expect it. So it felt like their goal was coming from half time up until, probably about another 5-6 minutes after they scored. That chunk of the game felt like that they were in control.
Yeah, I could just remember thinking, they surprised me in the second half because, I fully expected them to come here and cry the moment they walked through the stadium, and they didn't, to be fair to them. And then the second half, they stepped it up. I don't think we got anywhere near the goal, if I remember right. I don't remember anything before they scored, but a really disappointing way to concede a goal, Daz. It's kind of reminded me of, I think it was Derby, sort of poor stepping up to play the offside from DartsHarry this time. I think it was Matthews against Derby. When it'd probably been better. I'm not saying he would have beaten I forget his name.
Cienza.
He's a scummer. He's a scummer anyway. I'm not saying DartsHarry would have kept up and beaten him to the ball anyway, but sometimes knowing that player's behind you can just put a bit of pressure on. So, Daz, are you disappointed with how we defended that goal?
I said at half time, the only way these are going to score against us is if we do something to help them and give them upper hand. Like, I don't mind taking short free kicks and stuff like that in and around where the sort of halfway line is, because I can get what they're doing. They're trying to create more of an angle to hit Ogilvy. But the problem was, because I thought the ball was relatively slow from DartsHarry to Swanson. So by the time he looked up, Azaz was right in front of him. So he had to sort of maybe rush the ball a little bit, which obviously didn't get enough distance. And then the problem you've got there is, because we've played the ball square, them as a defensive unit has come up. So if we then lose the ball, like we did, we're stuck in that situation where they've kind of got the momentum. And to be fair to him, a great touch and a good ball from that Azaz. We sort of gave them the upper hand. So I mean, once he puts the ball through there, like, if you look, DartsHarry's already trying to get up to play the offside trap. So even if he'd have kind of gone to turn, I don't think he would have caught him, because you had.
He could have put him off, though.
Maybe, but I don't think he would have got close enough to do that, because I think if you see Devlin's probably got the best opportunity to get back to him, and Devlin that was not on Devlin to get back there, because obviously he's higher. I just think this is another instance of us with set pieces, and like there's a couple of times we've looked very amateur in how we do them. I think, was it Arsenal game where we played a short corner when all we needed to do was get the ball in the box and that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's a disappointing goal. Obviously, nothing Schmid could do. And obviously, do you know what? Like, fair play to the way Matey celebrated, because I would have loved that if that was a Pompey player doing that. I'm just so glad that celebration isn't going to come back to haunt us for like many seasons ahead, because we managed to get back into it.
Yeah, and has the moment for me that completely changed the game was Downs going in hard on Swanson, and Swanson kicking off, and it all kicked off, and Adams had hold of someone, Ogilvy had hold of someone, and it all proper mellied, and it seemed to really wake our boys up.
Yeah, and watching it back, I don't actually think the challenge was that bad from Downs, to be honest. And I'm not sure why Swanson reacted the way he did. I've seen a lot worse challenges this season.
But he is about half an hour late. That's why. And
but it's not. I don't think it's awful. I don't think it's even a yellow card.
No, I don't think it's the actual foul that pissed Swanson off. I think it's like that. Come on, man. It could have been worse.
Yeah, maybe if he caught him in a different way, maybe it could have been worse.
I tell you what, if I'm Swanson, I play the ball down the line, and someone comes into me like that late, I'm getting up and doing the exact same thing. I think if you ask,
because you're trying to hurt someone.
Maybe, but it definitely was it. You know, obviously, as you said, Swanson gets up and has that little rat pinned up, and then James Bree comes along and tries to help him out, and then Ebou Adams gets hold of James Bree, and then it's Ogilvy and Adams and Swanson and someone else, I can't remember, together, and it's 2v1 on both sets. You know, that's what you can say about our boys, is we might not have as much ability as players, as teams such as them lot, but we've always had, since Messino's come in, to be fair, when Cowley was here, but it's more so under Messino, is the togetherness within the squad that we've got. We've got a good core and a good group of lads that I actually think is better to have than, say, high quality individuals. Is better to have a group of maybe lesser talented, but you know, that they're a solid group. They get on, they're friends, it shows that they're willing to fight for each other. And that was the turning point, because it felt like they kind of retracted a bit, and it pumped up it pumped up the crowd. And then the players kind of it was like a bit of pressure was lifted off of the players. It was like they felt like they could relax again. Obviously, we'd been under a bit of pressure, and then it felt like the players kind of had a bit of weight lifted off their shoulders, could get down, get the ball down, play, and it felt like the goal was coming. And unfortunately, I feel that if we'd scored maybe 5-10 minutes earlier, I know if your aunt was your uncle, I felt like by the end of the game, there was only one team going for that winner. And I felt if there was an extra 5 minutes, we may have got it.
Yeah, I think after we scored, I don't think they got anywhere near the goal, if I remember rightly. But, that's great. Another fantastic ball in by Segasic. I think his corners, deliveries have been brilliant, and even his crossing's been brilliant of late. I actually feel gutted for Pack in a way, because he done really well to win the header, deserved the goal. But then, our boy Adams makes sure that ball crosses the line with his head, hand, whatever, his belly button, his arse, his cock. Wherever it was coming off, that ball was getting in the back of the net.
That's a sign of like commitment, and like not obviously I know it came off hard with Bellis, which popped the ball back up in the air, but it just shows that we had about at least two, well, because Pack was relatively close to it as well, players that reacting, and it's about keeping the ball alive no matter what happens, especially in the 18-yard box, 6-yard box. For an attacking side, if you can just keep the ball alive, the more you keep it alive, the obviously like organised chaos and that kind of stuff, you can mostly get something out of it. And that just showed Ebou Adams, the fact that he was so committed to it. He basically like just threw himself at it on the line. I think their keeper probably could have done a lot better. Obviously, he faked getting hurt afterwards. But yeah, I mean, I don't think we probably get that sort of fight, maybe, if that thing with Downs hadn't happened, which makes me laugh because they're treating Downs like a hero. And to be honest, that's one of the reasons we got back into the game, because it rejuvenated everyone.
Well, the other thing that makes me laugh about that is they went on about that, but all the images is Swanson all over him. Like,
well,
you know what I mean? Like, there's not one image that
the thing is,
backs up brilliant.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Downs,
And the thing is, if that was the other way around, as a Pompey player doing it, I'd be fuming, because you're 1-0 up, just kill the game. Don't do anything for them to feed off and go on. This is what I said about before the game, was don't give them lot anything to feed off. Don't obviously be vile and that sort of stuff to them, but don't give them anything where it's going to get them to group together and that kind of stuff, like it's us against the world kind of mentality. And that's what that free kick did, and the foul from Downs and that sort of stuff. I mean, there was also, I saw someone talking about like their keeper, that fact he ran all the way out of his goal. I watched it back, and he's ran out of his goal. He's just tapped one of their players on the back. So like, I think they're sort of getting a different story in their heads compared to what actually happened. But I would thank Downs for like rejuvenating everyone and getting everyone back together. And I think that sort of fight, it sort of helped us from that corner, because everyone kind of just committed and kept going. And especially Ebou Adams, who at the moment is that fighter, and that he's got that real grit and determination that if he's not going to, like in that instance there, if he wasn't going to score, he was going to put his body on the line. And if he got a kick or a punch from the goalkeeper, he was going to take it.
Yeah, no, it was just a real, as I said earlier, a good game to watch as well.
Yeah.
I had many people, even people not Pompey fans, say, "Oh, they really enjoy, what a game," sort of thing. Maybe not in terms of quality, but as we said earlier, it was definitely a derby. And I thought we ended it where I thought we might snatch it.
Yeah.
Towards the end, but just never really got a clear-cut opportunity. I think we had Adams had another shot from distance. we had a couple of other like moments in the
There was that
game.
chance that Anderson could have tried to slip Segatic through, didn't he? But he sort of misjudged it, and I don't blame Anderson for that because obviously he's not played with anyone else like Segatic and that, so might not have understood of where he needed to play that ball. Maybe if it was an Ali
No,
or a
it was one of
Murphy.
them moments where Anderson was telling Segacic to run, but Segacic was telling him, no, give it to my feet. And then Anderson put the ball in front, and then it was one of them moments where they look at each other as if they, why did he do that? But then why did he? I mean, it was just one of them. But to be fair though, Anderson, he looks like a positive player. I know we didn't see much of him, but I always like forward-thinking players. What was your thoughts?
Yeah, I think he did okay. I think you could tell he was a little bit rusty. But as you said, he was a player he's come on for his debut in a South Coast derby. He's not quite up to speed, but that could be down to kind of the intensity of the game rather than necessarily his fitness. He was trying to get forward. There was that ball through. Was it Segacic? That ball through just wasn't quite right, unfortunately. But again, a promising debut, and hopefully he can kind of go upwards, much like Millie and Ebou.
Yeah, I think we go on to transfers later, but pretty content with what we've got in so far. A couple other things maybe just talk about is just I'd like to point out how deluded them lot are. Who had from we made no noise and all you could hear was them. I don't know when that happened. Maybe about 5 minutes after they scored, it went a bit like that. What else? The thing with Swanson, they made out as if Swanson was crying on the floor. And were you still there at the end? Did you watch everyone throwing bottles and chairs at each other?
No, I didn't see any of it, but heard it.
It's quite entertaining to watch.
Seen some of the pictures of like some chairs on the thing and that. I've saw like the two groups sort of trying to like chant and like shout and chuck things at each other. But no, I didn't like see it personally. And the thing is, like, they're always their issue is that they hate the fact that this whole thing with Fratton Park atmosphere and that kind of stuff. They hate it. Absolutely hate it, and you like they'll always say, "Oh, everyone talks about it," but then they always talk about it and saying how it's not true and it's like a Portsmouth myth or whatever they say. So they're always
they
they're
seem
always going to
to
deny it. They're always going to deny it. I heard them every now and again, but that was obviously when like it quieted down a little bit, and obviously you see their hands moving and that kind of stuff. Well, like where they're holding each other's hands. So you don't like. The problem is being right at the back of Fratton, you bet you don't really hear the away fans as much. And they probably made some noise by some of the videos I've seen. They've made some noise. Of course they did. Like, and
but not in a, like you swap it, between the two at their place, or you could hear on the telly was us.
And that Tonda, like that's a prime example of a manager that's worried about his job because he's saying that they're the only ones he could hear. It's like you've got like Pompey fans about 5 yards behind you, and I guarantee everyone in the South Stand would have been singing. So you're lying, like, and that's fine because he's struggling with his job now. I don't expect anything less. They're going to say, "Oh, atmosphere's bad." We're going to say they didn't sing. It's just tribal stuff, and it's always going to happen. It's a bit like that hierarchy stuff. It's like just laugh at it because they're never going to admit anything.
But all the Portsmouth thing they go on about, pretty much all of it is bullshit from their side. So it's actually like, hang on, you're the ones lying.
It's always the same.
Has South Stand explain to me why everyone was sat down?
Because we kept getting told to sit down by the stewards, which is another issue that I had a little Barney with that little midget man that walks the referees on. He told me to stop because I called James Bray a scum of cunt. And he went, "That's enough." and threatened to kick me out because I called him a scum of cunt. And everyone round me told him to jog on as well. So,
but it just seems like no one told us in the Fratton end and the North Stand and then obviously the Milton end with them. It just seemed a shame that, I've been to games where, Milan, the whole South Stand stood up. So is that why the stewards are being dipped?
yeah, there was a couple of young guys sat.
Could you not just all ignore them? Like they were seeing them try and chuck out about 4,000 fans.
Yeah, there were a couple of young guys down on the right at the front, and the guy that had a go at me kept coming down and telling them to make us sit down. So it all came from little man syndrome steward. That was the problem. Right, the stewards that were actually there didn't care about anything that was going on really, but it was the little man syndrome boy that thinks he's the big boy was the one causing the problems.
I did see you get up and shout at one of the scummers, so I'm assuming it was that point.
Was it when they were taking a throw in front of us? Yeah, that'd have been it. That was James Bree, deserved it.
Yeah, well, they all deserve it. So, anything else you boys want to talk about before we move on about the game?
Just the, pyrotechnics, letting off fireworks / flare or whatever it was, temporarily injuring the ball boy.
Yeah. What I missed that at the time. Where did it come from? Was it us or them?
I don't know. I've seen conflicting reports.
Yeah, I have.
Some people said it's the away end. Other people said it's come from our end. Wherever it was, it landed right next to that ball boy. He's only 16, in front of the Milton end. And obviously he had to get attended to by a medic. He was on TalkSport as well with Jim White. If you went, I think it was Monday at just after 11 o'clock, if you want to go back and listen to it. Hayden, I think his name was, he did a little interview, 5-minute interview with Jim White on there talking about it. So go give that a listen. But you've injured a child. Do you think you're the big boy, really, letting off a firework or flare or whatever it was? Another steward ended up with burns. So again, you're injuring people. Then obviously you've got the fan that ran on the pitch.
Lewis Capaldi.
Again, he's been given a 30-month banning order. Really, is it worth it? No. Everyone's laughing at you rather than with you. We all think you look like a twat. And you're bringing the club into disrepute and into a bad light, which is exactly what we don't need and want, especially as the club have already been previously charged for pyrotechnic usage. And last time they fined us, they reminded us that they could take it further than just a financial sanction. And then obviously we've been charged separately by the FA because of the mass confrontation because of the scrap between Swanson and Downs. So whilst it was a great occasion, it feels like the small minority, literally 2 or 3 people, have let us down and brought the club into a bad light.
Unfortunately, you're going to get that.
Yeah, of course.
It happens. And any, you look at West Brom Wolves games, Birmingham Villa, West Ham Millwall. Unfortunately, when it's a proper derby, it's going to happen. And that's why it's different when you go to their place, because nothing happened. Do you know what I mean? Down here, we are a funny breed. We're very hateful. And, it's always been the same and always will be, unfortunately.
I think being so close to the pitch as well, that has a bearing on it, because you can get closer to each other, get closer to the players. I personally think that stuff like the bubble probably doesn't help, to be honest, because everyone holds it in until they get in. They have to get into the ground. Like, I'm not saying like attack each other on the streets and that, but like there can always be that.
Why not?
Yeah, right. But there's always that little bit. If you like getting walked through the down Fratton and that sort of stuff, there could be a little bit of let go there. Do you know what I mean? A bit of screaming people releasing some of their tension there. And in the ground.
But the problem is when they did that last time, ended up loads of empty bottle glasses being thrown at them and at the police, and I mean, it just went awfully wrong. And there was thousands of people waiting for them, weren't there? It weren't just a few.
I suppose it's hard. Like, I don't think you're going to win anywhere. Like, if it's not in the ground, it's going to be out the ground. Like, you can't.
Well, when has there ever been a Pompey game at Fratton Park against them lot and something hasn't happened?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's because obviously at their place, because it's obviously an industrial estate and that kind of stuff. It's a lot easier to control, where our ground is down like little roads and that kind of stuff. So it's not like you can just shove loads of like coaches right up against the ground and that sort of stuff. They still have to walk a little bit to get there if you want that many coaches. And there's only kind of one way in and one way out. Like with their like industrial estate, there's so many different ways you can look after it. So much more space, which probably helps them do that. Where at our place, it's very different, isn't it?
Mm. Speaking of going back to the ball boy situation, a different ball boy. I don't know if you both noticed that ball boy who deserves a fucking medal, and literally lobbed the ball in the goalie's face.
Yeah, and then you had the one the other side as well.
Brilliant.
When the keeper went to walk up to it, he then tapped it further away off the cone.
Yeah, this is what I mean. You didn't get any of this in their place, did you? At all? I loved it. I was exhausted. I was actually a little bit disappointed because I still think, maybe if we had some of our stronger players, because they were shit. Come on, they were awful. And also the only saving grace is if you're going to draw 1-1 against them lot, it's always best to let them go 1-0 up. I'd rather be the team that equalises because it feels a bit better.
Yeah. I said this after the game. I said they're a championship team. Like Leo Senza is probably the only player out of all of them that I would say could be a Premier League player. The rest of them, even like Jack Stevens and Harwood Bellis, like I know Harwood Bellis has got an England cap, but so's David Nugent. So that doesn't tell me he's a Premier League player. I thought if we'd have had maybe not even a Murphy, because obviously Ali did well down there. If we had an out-and-out right winger and another like striker to be able to come in and compete with Bishop, with and giving him a bit of a rest and that, I think we would have won the game. It was just that final third. I think that just sort of not letting us down because we still did pretty well, but I just felt that. Maybe with Murphy, he gets the ball at his feet and hits it a lot earlier, like especially a really good and confident Murphy. But yeah, I thought, as derbies go, I was sweating. I got home, I was just like, it felt like I'd lost about half a stone. Because
it was exhausting.
Yeah, because even though I want to be back in the league with them, it gets to the day I'm like, I hate this. So as said to Haz before I got to his, I had about 4 ciders before I even turned up. I needed to have a few drinks, and I think I had another 3 or 4 by the time I went to the ground. And I still wasn't even that drunk because I think the anxiety was so high in my body.
Yeah, no, it was great. So shall we now move on to the West Brom game on Saturday? Have you got your stats ready for us?
Haz.
I do, yes. Sorry, I realised I was on mute. So Millwall, not Millwall. West Brom, because I'm looking at Millwall away. West Brom are only 1 place above us, 2 points ahead of us. They have already sacked Ryan Mason this year. They are not in the best of form. They're actually in worse form than we are.
We're in good form.
Are. Only 1 loss in the league out of 8 now.
Yeah. Yep.
They haven't won an away game in 12 games, I believe. I think that's correct.
1-0 West Brom.
So the last time they won away was the 1st of October against Norwich. So they haven't won a lot, but they haven't won away since then. Last time out, it was 1-1 away to Derby. They got whooped 5-0 at home by Norwich. They sacked Ryan Mason a few weeks ago. They've got Eric Ramsey in charge. Doesn't seem to be going too well for him either. I mean, a win for us is it must win?
I would say
Just because of
must
where
win
it
is
is.
always it's a big words at the moment, must win, especially January, even February is a bit early. But what I would say is maybe not a must win, but it's a crucial win in terms of you're dragging them even more into danger. We go above them no matter how everyone else gets on, and you got 2 games in hand over them. It's very much, it's like a must win without wanting to say a must win. Does that make sense?
Because obviously they're 2 points clear of us at the minute, but if they win, then they're 5 clear of us, so they're further ahead. Whereas
or is it a must not lose?
Well, I think it's one of those things. I think like if we win on Saturday, it's not we're not staying up. If we lose on Saturday, we're not going down. If we draw, it's neither one or the other. But I think it's important for momentum and confidence and things like that. Like we do need to put a run of like results together, and especially if we've got Ipswich on Tuesday. The last thing we want to do is obviously lose and then have to try and pick up some points against Ipswich, which again, obviously, if we win on Saturday, I still want to win and pick up points against Ipswich, but it just puts a little bit more pressure. And I think, like, these sort of games when you're playing teams in and around you, it's more of a confidence thing rather than, like, sort of have to win because of we're down or up, we're staying up. Do you know what I mean?
I would say it's more of a must not lose
Yep.
than a must win.
It also depends on how the game goes, isn't it? Like, you know, if you're playing well and like, but their keeper's had a stormer and like, and then like either you just draw or stuff like that. It's how the game plays out. It has to be context with it because just say we lost, but we played really well, like loads of chances, but keeper would put off save. Referee gives a dodgy decision and that kind of stuff. Like that's the thing with football. The result on the board, which I know is the most important thing, but it doesn't always tell the story.
I would say this stage of the season, you just want the points, don't you? Even if it is just one. Like I always have this argument with people at the moment on Twitter of, you know, they go, like Sheffield Wednesday, we didn't play very well. I don't care. At this point, I couldn't care less if we didn't play well the rest of the season. Just go and get the points.
I feel like the first half of the season you want to be playing well, don't you? And then it gets to a point, especially if you're lower down like we are, and you're in that scrap, it is just get the points on the board. And I don't care if it comes off someone's arsehole in the 92nd minute. It's about getting them 3 points, really.
And the thing is, you have to, like, if you don't play well for the majority of the second half of the season or majority of the season, you're not going to pick up the points. Not playing well and playing a certain way are two different things. Like if you're just playing Kenny Jackett pragmatic football, you're not technically looking like you're playing well, but because you're organised and all that sort of stuff, you can get results and you are technically kind of playing well because you're playing to a system. If we aren't playing well for the majority of the second half of this season, we'll lose more games and we will go down. We have to play in a certain way, and also by playing well, but maybe not easy on the eye, I suppose might be a better word to describe it.
Yeah. Any more stats?
Referee is Mr. Matt Donoghue, who has already reffed us this season. He refereed us at the away South Coast Derby. So far, he has reffed 7 Portsmouth games, only 1 win in those 7, which was against Fleetwood away back in 18-19 season. So there's quite a few games ago since we won with him in charge.
Was that 5-2?
It was 5-2.
Ben Thompson scored a good goal in that game. Do you remember him?
So card-wise, he's very hard to read. So you've got 1, 8, 3, 6, 5, 4, 3, 8, 4, 0, 0, 1, 5, 3, 7, 3. So probably one to avoid.
When was the last time we did beat West Brom at home? Was it a 3-2 comeback? All the way back in the Prem?
I don't know. Let me have a look.
That was mad limbs, that was that day, you know. Silence. I felt like I had to say something then. Do you remember, Daz? Do you remember the last time we beat him at home? Do you remember that 3-2 comeback?
Was that?
The Walla belted it top corner. He was miles offside as well, which is hilarious.
I can't remember that for some reason.
Right in the literally last minute of the game. We were 2-1 down with 5 minutes to go.
Oh, I can't.
And then we brought on our Berkovic and he just completely changed the game.
Have we not beaten him since then? Because that would have been like...
At home, I don't
That
remember.
would have been like...
We have in the, FA Cup, we beat them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that wasn't at Fratton Park,
No.
was it?
December 2005, we beat them 1-0 in the Premier League.
Ah, Todoros return. Yes, I remember now. It's still a long time ago. I feel like this has been a year of breaking curses.
Yeah.
We broke the Charlton curse. And we broke another curse, and I can't remember what it was now. Was it someone else we hadn't beaten for ages or something like that? I can't remember now. So yeah. Right. Predictions. Where are we? I'm assuming none of us got a
No,
point.
nothing changed.
I said with my head, I said it was a draw, but I went with my heart, stupidly. Never go with your heart.
Yeah, that does his missus. Never go with your heart. Right. Daz, you can go first.
Again, I don't think it's a must win or anything like that, but
I think it's a must not lose. I think that's fair.
I'm gonna be positive. I think if this is a good time for us to be playing them, I know they got a point away at Derby, but I don't think they're gonna be in that position yet where they're probably going to be comfortable in the way they're going to be playing, because obviously the lad that's taken over probably hasn't had enough time yet to be able to like stamp his authority or stamp what he wants. So I'm going to be confident. Let's go 2-0 Pompey, and let's go with Bish.
Okay. Has?
Go for the same. I'll go. I gotta go for a win. I'll go 2-1 Pompey and Segacic.
Okay. I'm gonna go for a 1-0. Who do I think is gonna fucking score? I'm gonna go Ali's gonna get his first goal.
Ali, good lad.
1-0. 1-0 Ali. Yep, I'm happy with that. Right. Ipswich preview quickly then. Have you got anything on that?
Yeah, so obviously this is the reorganised game from the when it was frozen pitch.
Woo! That was the best postponed game ever.
Yeah, well, just delaying the inevitable, no? So Ipswich are currently in third place on 50 points, so a whole 20 points clear of us. They've won 4 out of the last 5. Maybe surprisingly, last time out they lost to Sheffield United at home, away. Sorry. Obviously we know their main team. You've got some top quality players in there, and they don't even use the likes of I mean, they've sent Connor Chaplin out on loan. You've got the likes of Jack Clark. You've got George Hurst, Sammy Schmodix, who seems to be potentially leaving. At the back, you've got Dower O'Shea. You've got Jacob Greaves. You've got Jack Taylor. You've got some. Obviously, then you've got Jaden Philogene, and very nicely, they've also just bought Mehmeti as well from Bristol City, which is very nice because it means he's going to arsehole us again. So,
and they signed Dan Neil as well from.
They
Sunderland.
have, yes, on loan. They signed Dan Neil from Sunderland on loan too. So just another one to add to the amazingness. Referee is Thomas Kirk, who... Hang on, where's he gone? There he is. He has refereed us only twice before, 1 win and 1 loss. That win came the 5-3 Good Friday win away to Norwich last season. And then the second one was our 1-0 home loss this season to Stoke. Card-wise, quite a lot of 4s, a couple of 5s, so a couple of 6s. So I won't read them out because there's so many 4s, I can't be arsed. So I'd probably go over 4 cards or 4 and over if you're inclined that way. But other than that, probably it's more about damage limitation, probably for that game, isn't it? You kind of go all out for West Brom and then maybe rest a few for Ipswich. Because it's unlikely we're going to get anything out of that, isn't it?
Going to be interesting. Do you want to go
Do we
first?
just keep the same predictions that we made for the postponed game? Or do you want to make new ones?
No, we make new ones because things have changed and they're new players. Blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
I can't even remember what I fucking even said.
You went for a 2-1 Pompey win with Segacic to score.
I don't think
Daz went for a 1-0 win with Bishop to score, and I went for a 2-2 with Dazelle to score.
It's up to you. You can keep it.
No, I'll change it. I'm going to go for...
You need the points.
Yeah, I know. Sam Smith is calling. I'm going to go for a... I'm going to go for a 3-1 loss. No, I'm not. I'm going to go for a 3-0 loss.
He's not even going for a Pompey goal scorer. He's fucking
Need the points, mate. And I'm going to go for a Philogene goal.
Boo. You know what? You're going to get -10 if that's right. Right. Please tell me you're going to at least get Pompey a goal.
Yeah, we're going to get it. It's going to be 1-1. 1-1 and Seggers.
So we know Chaplin can't play, can't he? So hopefully that means Seggers will be back in his...
Then you think Anderson on the right, Ali on the left, maybe?
Yeah. Is there talk of Lane being fit, or is it not for another week or so?
Potentially.
He's in full training, I think, isn't he?
Yeah. Saturday is too soon, apparently, but Tuesday is what they're aiming for. If he's still here.
Yeah, I think he will be. Personally.
I think it's too late now to let him go and get a replacement in, isn't it?
I think... Yeah, I don't think... He's gone now. I don't think Preston... If they were putting another bid in, they would have done it by now. Like, you're talking, 2 weeks ago we were talking about this?
Yeah.
I'm going to go 1-1 as well. I don't care about the points for the correct score anymore. Let's just get the goal scorer. I'm going to go for Anderson. Fuck it. I'm going to go for the new boys to get goals.
Ooh, straight in there.
Yeah, he should start, so I'm quite confident with that. Right.
Daz has just disappeared.
Oh, okay. I was just about to introduce his darts, but... Oh, no, we're going to do... I'll tell you what. Do you want to do... Should we just go over... When Dad's return?
There he is, he's back.
Signing. Do transfer stuff, and then we'll move to the games.
You there, Dazzy?
I have no idea what happened there. Just my phone just chucked me out. So bye.
But at least it didn't happen when we're trying to talk to you or anything. So
That's all right then.
or you're in the middle of saying something.
No.
Yeah. So we transfers quickly. Just see an update from. Speaking of transfers, I just got an update from Andrew Moon.
Yeah, I've just seen that as well.
I am told Savante Ingleson, I think that's how you pronounce it, the situation is complex, but Pompey remain in the hunt. Now, is that complex, Has, because his last name doesn't begin with A?
I think it probably is, right?
First of all, before we get on to Ingleson, let's welcome our new boy. I don't know his name, but I know it begins with an A.
Alessi, is it? How you say it?
Yeah, I wouldn't know how to pronounce that. Welcome. It seems like a bit of an Atkinson situation of, like, you talk to Sunderland fans, they're saying he's, top quality. He got one of the sort of top defenders in the whole league. But the issue is certainly another injury record player, not even just from a leg break. Even before then, his injury record wasn't the greatest.
No, it's not. I mean, I've put in our chat all day when Russ, you were complaining about it, that it does feel a very Rob Atkinson type signing. If he was fully fit and hadn't just come back from injury, we probably wouldn't be able to sign him exactly like Rob Atkinson last year. Yes, it is a gamble because you're signing someone who's been out for a long time. He has played a couple of Premier League 2 matches, which I know isn't the same level as what we're at. But he's got some kind of minutes behind him, unlike, I don't think Atkinson had actually played at all. Or he might have played very minuscule minutes before he arrived here. He's 6'3.5", 6'3", 6'4", centre half. Is the kind of player we needed. Yes, it is another loan. Yes, we haven't got them permanently. But I think I'm kind of okay with it, as long as you still go and get Savante Ingleson or another midfielder, and we need to spend more than because currently we've only spent 500k in January, and that isn't enough to be able to stay up. And as we said earlier, you can keep trying and keep doing it that way, but eventually it will catch up with you, because you can kind of half fluke your way into staying in the Championship by doing what we're doing now with the money we're spending. But if they do want us to push on and move further up the table and basically keep Messino at this point, they need to up the budget, and up the budget more than 500k on Ebou Adams, which, yes, is a very good 500k, and he's probably paid for that already by scoring against them lot. But you need to be spending not double that, 10 times that, really. And if we can't judge him by what Messino said, it sounds like we're going to fill our loan slots. So we've got one more left for the 5 that you're allowed in your matchday squad. So that's maybe another player that we haven't paid a fee for. Yes, I understand we're paying for wages, but I'm happy with what we've done so far. I'm happy. I'm content, but we need more. We need better players that are not injury prone, that are available like now. And I'm just not sure if we're going to do it. But I will remain calm and composed, as I said earlier. I will keep quiet and let the club do what the club are going to do until that window shuts on Monday at 7:00. And if we're in a position where we potentially not even brought anyone else in after Alese, then the club will come under scrutiny, and fully deserved, because they will have underfunded the squad. They'd have basically hung out the squad and Messina to dry and kind of gone, we don't give a fuck. They have to spend some money and have to get championship quality players by Monday night. And if they don't, then they should fully expect a lot of arrows pointing to them.
Well, I want to bring a point that Jordan Cross said earlier on Twitter. But you guys have already seen it, but for those who haven't, he was answering a question to someone about, what's going on, with value, prices of signings, etc. And Jordan Cross replied to the person saying, I've written about it a few times for a long period. JM has said this time last year he thought we'd push on from Matthews, who was bought for 1.27 million, to fees of between 2 and 2.5. It hasn't happened. Now, someone replied to someone earlier, again on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, and say that basically all you people want is us to sign 10 million, players for 10 million. And I said, and we discussed this the other week when we had Graham on. It's not about that. It's about where's the progression. So that's a very, I think, a fair from moves to say, well, we had this last year, so I thought we would have this year. It's not like he's saying, well, we spent 1.25 million, surely we'll be moving up to 5 million now. He's basically asking to double your money. And staying up, the amount of money we would have recuperated from Sky and being in the league and stuff like that, how have we not pushed on? How are we not now spending over 2 million, maybe up to 3 on players? Because I think that's a fair progression to expect from the owners.
Yeah, I said that. I'm pretty sure I said that this summer or just before, saying that as you said, it's a natural progression. If we're spending 1.2 was it on Matthews, like you'd expect, obviously another season in the Championship, like prices go up. It's like with anything, isn't it? Like, but if you want to sort of improve and get better, you need to up your budget bit by bit. Not, I said, we're not asking to go out and spend like 5 or 10 million. Like we even said, didn't we? Like that with like the whole Abu Kamara thing. We said obviously that price tag was too much. So we understand as football fans what players are worth and what they're not. And okay, like paying a transfer fee doesn't guarantee success, but as long as it's sensible and fans can see that it's sensible, if that success doesn't happen at the end of it, at least the club have done what they've needed to do. They've given John Messina and the coaching staff the tools to try and do the job. If you don't do that, then it falls back on the owners. A sign-in obviously is only a good sign-in once the season's happened and they've played well, they haven't played well. It's said there's loads of examples of big money signings that obviously are just the money. It's like basically throwing money down the drain. But I don't think we're asking a lot for. And I don't want them to spend 2.5 million just on anyone. It has to be the right player, of course. But I'm pretty sure that we could have found certain players for X amount of money. Which, yeah, it does worry me. As I said, I hold out hope until they give me a reason to never believe or never trust again. So they've got, a few days to sort that out now and get the right players in. I mean, if they're trying to just get through this window by doing like certain loans and stuff like that, okay, I understand that. But if it then gets to the summer and they aren't doing things properly, then yeah, I think they'll come under a lot more fire anyway.
But do you understand? I don't understand that. I think now is the time you need to back and put the money in the team. It's now you're in a relegation dogfight. This, everyone around you is signing players and spending money. And again, it's not all about the value, but just like I said earlier. Yes, this is not aimed at the player. He's clearly a very good footballer because he's come very highly regarded again. Another player highly regarded by the opposition fans. But even if this was a cropped up, injured Van Dijk, this model can no longer keep going on.
No, I agree. They're like, as I said, I think I've said this a number of times where we seem to be relying on the January transfer window to kind of pull ourselves out of certain situations, and it needs to be done right in the summer. Like the thing is, in January, it's always a tough window. I'm not making excuses because you either have to overpay to get the better players out from their club because it's a short period to get those players, or you're kind of, if you're getting loans or cheaper like transfer fees, you're getting players that maybe haven't played a great deal of football, or you're going to have to go down into League One, which I'm happy to do with, go down top end League One and get some players out of there because there's some really good quality down there, I think, personally. So it's a tough window, but the problem is that we can't let the club get away with the fact that they've put themselves in that situation where I think if they'd have gone out and got I'm not saying Ebou Adams exactly, but an Ebou Adams type of player that is ready to go, like obviously Mark from Hungary and Luke Leroux just weren't ready yet, and we spent good money on that. But if you think about it, if we paid half the money in January for Ebou Adams, who's probably had a much better impact than both of the other two in 3 games. So it's not about, I don't care if we spend how much we spend on a player. It could be 10 million, it could be £5. As long as that player is right for us, like an Ebou Adams, the price tag doesn't matter. But obviously we're talking about the model of getting sort of players that you can like sort of grow into it, like at a certain age. We can't do that anymore, or maybe 1 or 2's okay, but the majority have to be the Ebou Adams and like that sort of standard of footballer.
And I think also I don't think the scouting is the problem, because if you look at the players that we're picking out, other teams are as well. You look at Pele Matson in the summer. we were looking to get him. Norwich, obviously, we bid like $1 million or whatever. They said no. Norwich come in for the same player, offer 3.5. That's accepted. Then even now, you've got that. We went for that Grenoble foot player, Nesta Elfridge. If I'm saying his name wrong, I apologise. A striker, again, offered $1 million or so, rejected. He's now going to Italy for like 4 million. And so the scouting isn't the issue, because we're clearly finding the right kind of players because other teams are also going for them. The issue is the finances, because we aren't willing to pay what they want. And then you're getting other teams like Norwich who are willing to go and put out the money for Pele Matson, who is, okay, Norwich are doing shite, but he's actually been a standout player in their bad team, and now they're getting their stuff together. Now that obviously Liam Manning's gone, under Philippe Clement, they're doing well, and he's a standout player. So whilst also you talk about Kosnovsky and Leroux taking time to get up to speed, Kosnovsky was probably there. Leroux, I don't think, is there yet still. You spend that bit more money and you're more likely to have ready-made players, because the better players naturally cost more money. It's like you're asking Messino to fit a family of 15 in a fucking 2 up, 2 down or something like. But if you gave him an actual proper sized house, he could make room for everyone. It's just, you have to be able to spend more money than you are. And I think at this point, you can't be that naive to think that you don't. I genuinely think you're just not clever. And we know that they're clever, the Eisners, because of the money that they have made from Disney, from Topps, from whatever else. They're from Tornante, BoJack Horseman and things like that. We know that they're not like bad businessmen and they're not a bad business family, but they're making bad decisions. And even if they were wanting to sell, for example, if we were to get relegated, we're not going to get, or they won't get anywhere near as much money as they would if we were at Championship, because you lose out on TV deals and revenue and things like that. And yeah, you probably would be one of the top teams in League One again, but they'd lose probably 5-10 million off the valuation of the club if we went down. So I'm not saying they are trying to sell, but in a world that they are, and they don't want to go out and spend a shit ton of money, surely there's still a level of money they want to spend to make sure that they make more money in the future by selling the club than if we were to go down.
Do you not find it, like, I find it bizarre that, we would have gained more money staying up last season, but yet you could argue our budget seems to have gone down without knowing everything ins and outs, or at least stayed the same. I think the fans are right to say, well, what's going on? Where is the money? Why aren't we up in the budget? I mean, and the Moose is definitely coming out and saying some things that I haven't heard him ever say this window. Like about the Matthews and, saying like, look, we are where we are because, of the way the club is run. And it's sort of almost a little bit like he's jibing at the Eisners without jibing at the Eisners.
I think he's very carefully saying things. He's a very intellectual man. He's a clever man. He's not going to come out and do a Ruben Amorim or an Enzo Maresca and just come out and shoot shit up. He's not that kind of guy. He's saying things in a very articulate way that everyone understands what he's saying. And you can tell, I think we've got to the stage where he's probably been potentially overpromised for this window and then undersold, because he said there's money in the pot, plenty of money in the pot to spend, yet we've only spent 500k this window. I think, no, even if we go down, if we stay up, I'd be shocked if he's our manager next summer, like going into next season, no matter what league we're in. Because especially if he was to keep us up, you're another team. You go, well, he's managed to do this back to back. He's managed to win League One and keep Pompey in the Championship back to back when they've had relegation level budgets. Then why wouldn't you give him an opportunity with more money at another club?
So it's talking on the budget. The thing is, if you don't up the budget enough, or even if you kept the budget the same, your budget kind of goes down technically, if you know what I mean. Because if other clubs are up in their budgets by a lot more, it doesn't matter if we only just raise our budget a little bit. It needs to be sort of, like with inflation, that kind of stuff. Like, it needs to be of a level which still keeps catching up other teams around us. I'm not expecting to go and spend the money like Wrexham and that lot do. That's fine. Which is mental when you think about it, because if we'd had this conversation 10 years ago and we're saying that I wouldn't expect us to spend the money Wrexham are spending, you would probably think I've had one too many sherbets. But if we don't up the budget enough each season, our budget is technically going down, like when you compare it with everyone else, because I would guess we've got the bottom of the table budget. I can't think of even Oxford. I don't think even them, they will have a lower budget than us, which is
Even they've given it a go in January.
the thing is, I've looked at their players, and there's like, because I don't know like some of them, but there's like, rather than what clubs are spending, I'm seeing who they're spending it on. Like, and I've always said that if I look at that player and think, do you know what, I don't think I'd even want him here, like, then I'm okay with it. But they're still having a go, as you say. It just depends how they spend it. I mean, we've spoken about Charlton and the players they brought in, and okay, they've spent a bit of money, but again, majority of their players, I wouldn't be bothered if we had them here. Like, I don't think they improve us. So it's again, it's how you spend the money. You've got to find that fine line of how you spend the money, and spending the money. Because you can have a team of threes and stuff. I mean, look at the team who got promoted with Ariadnap at the Championship. Majority were like threes and lows, weren't they? Like, that got us promoted at the Championship. So you can put together a team without having to spend a lot of money, but on transfer fees, I guess would be the word. Right, because if you do go for frees and you want the quality, you then have to spend the money in the wages. So there's loads. There's more than like one way to skin a cat, but we've got to like get the knife out and start having a go.
Yeah. So Svante Ingolson, we know the situation's complex. And I think, I can't remember if it was you, Daz, or Has that brought that up, but I also watched when all the stuff with Barry Bannon, Sky Sports used this financial guy, I can't remember his name, and he basically said what one of you said in the chat, which is when you're trying to buy from a club in administration or sign a player from them, it's not as simple as a normal transfer. That basically you need to up the money straight
The
away.
upfront money's going to be higher because they need it now, right?
Yeah. So, would you think that's probably what it's down to, or do you think it's the agent? Do you think it's because I've got a feeling there's probably a lot of clubs that haven't even been linked that are probably keeping an eye on the situation because he is their top talent besides Bannon, who's now gone.
So from the journo up north, I think Alex Miller, he's reported that both us and Millwall have both had a bid of around the £300,000 mark rejected, and that they want around 500. So part of it is probably down to the money we've upped, but when going back to kind of like housing, like when a house is on the market, you don't offer what it's up for. You do try and go down by 10, maybe 20 grand if you can, and try and save yourself some money, because you got to try and bargain a bit. So you go in with a bit of a lower offer. They say no, then, if they say, we want 500, so go in and offer 450 or something, see if you can save yourself 50 grand or something, see if they take it. But I think part of it might well be to do with the administrators. Obviously, 500k is what they want. Pompey might want to pay 250 of it now, and then 125k over the next with 2 windows. But they might go, well, actually, we need and want all of it now, or 300 grand of it now, because they've got financial difficulties. They need that money. That could be another reason of why things are being rejected. And that's up to you, as in up to Pompey, to just, if that manager wants that player and he fits the bill, he ticks all the boxes, just fucking pay it. Don't fuck about. Just pay the money. It's not a lot. It's 500k. You just spend that on Ebou Adams. And if he can make us an impact of Ebou has in the 3 games, then we'll be happy. But currently, you're selling yourself short, and you're also fanning around and leaving yourself open for someone like what happened with Pele Matson. We've underbid. Another team that's got more financial power has come in, snapped the deal, and got it done within a couple of days because we fucking about with it. If you want that player, just go and pay it. I'll get you going for the first bids under what they want. But when they go, no, we are serious, this is the minimum we want, just pay it, get it done with, back the manager, otherwise we're going down and the manager will leave.
The thing is, we've obviously saying about paying the money, I get that, and like you should put it on the table and that kind of thing. But you do hear so many stories of players being like sort of at like sort of. I think I sort of one with Steve Sidwell the other day I listened to where he was on his way to Wolves and then like deal was all done, but then Fulham came in last minute and he literally left and went down there. So deals can break down without it actually being the club's fault. Like they could put it forward, but once they've put a bid in, I would guess there's somewhere a group of people will know after that, or clubs, because an agent being an agent will want to get the best deal for his player. So I would guess that if they think some other teams will be sniffing around, they'll be like, by the way, Pompey have had a bid accepted. Do you want to put one in? And if you can offer him better money, I know he'll come to you and that kind of stuff. But as you said, has put the money on the table, and then at least you're sort of at the front of the queue, and you could hopefully get it done quickly. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but
at least like with Alex Robertson, right? We know that the bid was matched to Cardiff, everything was the same. At least get it to the point where it's the player's choice or something, right? At least make sure do all you can. Don't delay it. Don't fuck about and let other teams come in. If you get in there with whoever it's for, whether it's for Ingleson or whoever, you make it your target. You get that bid in, and you try and get that done, whipped up and done as quickly as possible to avoid what you're saying, Daz. To avoid other clubs kind of snatching at the last minute.
If we come to Monday and it closes and you hear Ingleson's gone to wherever for 600k, and then you hear the club, well, we put 500k bid in or whatever, boy, I think you're going to... I think even the hardest of ours, the defenders, would be like, yeah, no, fuck you. Do you know what I mean?
As I said,
if they turn around and go, yeah, we matched the bid, but you chose that club, you can go, okay, fair enough.
But then you've got to but as long as they go and get someone else that's next on the list, because we can't go in to the rest of the season, or with the window shutting on Monday at 7, we can't go into it with the current squad we've got. Because we've got too many injured. We still need at least one more. I would say we still need another centre half. I would say we need another. We desperately need another striker.
But we're not getting another striker.
We need one.
I just know we're not. We're not even linked with a striker.
No, well, we were linked with that Grenoble foot bloke, but that's obviously gone down the pan. We need another. We need another striker. We're desperate for it.
No, I just don't think we're going. I just got this feeling that we're not going to get one. I don't know why. I've said it the whole month.
But then that comes down onto the ownership. I'm sorry, you cannot have Colby Bishop, who we know can do it at this level. He did it last year. The bloke is well out of form. I know he scored against Arsenal, but he's way out of form. He's dying out there. He's literally having to play full 90 because there's fuck all else about. Tommy Waddingham may as well be dead. He's now become Jacob Farrell and just died.
Jacob Farrell lives.
Well, he does now. He's resurrected.
I've seen him twice.
I know he's resurrected. Mackenzie Kirk, similar to Waddingham, he's actually fit, but they're both young. 20, 21. He's come from the Scottish champ. The level's too big for the gap to be able to go straight in. Again, he fits the player model that they want of young, like with a sell-on in the future. But he's not good enough for the Championship right now. He needed to come in and go straight out on loan to maybe League One or potentially League Two for a season to get proper men's football under the belt and not just get bullied for every time he plays. So you're left with Colby. You're left with one striker, basically, because the other two, one's injured and one's not ready. So you're left with Colby. And you're going to have to keep playing him, and you're just killing the guy. He's got no form. Since he came back from his little injury he's got no form. He's not getting the right service to help him. We're not playing to aid his strengths. So we're just basically saying you're just a guy up front, and we have to play you because we've got no one else. And it's not good enough. And that's not Colby's fault. And it's not Messino's fault. And that comes down to not having another first choice striker. And even when you bring someone in, it's not to replace Colby. It's to make Colby realise you aren't guaranteed to start, and it offers something different. Give Colby needs a rest. You give him a rest. And means you can maybe go two up top. You've got, you can bring Colby off and put someone else on, or vice versa in different games. It gives you some adaptability and something different. As I said, I'm going on to a rant, but it's what's needed. And if I said I'll remain calm until Monday night, and I will, but I'll keep reserved. But that's a striker is what was needed. And if they don't, then they're selling everyone short. Fans, Messino, the other players.
Yeah, fully with you. I'm going to move it on though.
Jesus Christ.
I'll just see the time. So we're going to move on with that. We've got plenty of opportunities next week to talk about transfers. Obviously, hopefully we have a few more in. And some will have to go or at least be deregistered.
You
26 now.
Deregister Bianchini and Farrell.
I don't think he does.
No, I don't think he does.
You obviously, I think you do the more longer term injuries, wouldn't you?
So we already had one space. Obviously, then we lost Yang, and then you deregister Kosnovsky. So there's 3. So then that's Ebou Adams, that's Keshi Anderson, and that's Millie. So that means that the squad is then full. You have to deregister someone to then put Alessi in. So who would that be? Would that be Bianchini?
Yeah, I suppose so.
But then do you deregister Hayden Matthews, or do you deregister... I know she said Shocklessy's going to be due back at the end of Feb, potentially. But do you take the chance and deregister? You'd probably deregister Hayden Matthews over Shocks. But do you deregister one of them to be able to get another striker in, or another attacker, or something like that? Because otherwise you haven't got enough. And I don't know who else you deregister. Obviously you can deregister Bianchini. But if we're wanting 2 more, at least by Monday, you're going to have to probably deregister Hayden Matthews or Farrell and Bianchini. And I don't know who else you'd deregister. Maybe LaRue. If you get another midfielder in as well, if you want to get that Ingleson in as well, then you do probably have to deregister LaRue and see if you can shift him out somewhere else on loan at last minute.
It's going to be interesting.
Because currently the squad is full.
It certainly is. Right. Daz, are you still there? I haven't heard you for a while.
I'm having a sleep.
Are you ready for your disastrous, disorganised, dangerous start?
Always.
I will come up with some more Ds.
Always.
Russ loves the D.
Certainly do, especially Daz's. What the fuck is this? Oh, Inspector Gadget. Apparently Inspector Gadget likes darts.
Yeah. So, I'm literally just trying to find the most random thing. So, this week we are going with appearances, goals, and assists combined for players that have played for Pompey in the League 2 seasons. Okay.
Okay.
So only appearances, goals and assists in League 2 count.
In League 2. I've got a transfer mark.
There are no cup games whilst we're in League 2 or anything like
Well,
that, no?
all it says is appearances, goals, and I've put in League 2, and that's what it is on there. So
So just be literally the
Yeah.
league. Okay.
Okay, so who's going to go first?
Haz, you can go first, mate. I think I went first last
That's very
time.
kind of you.
Well,
You're very welcome.
Thank you so much.
one person I know that isn't going first. Hold on.
Yeah, me!
So,
That's me! Go on then, Haz.
go on in. How's to throw first?
Well, I might as well go straight in for Mr. Gary Roberts.
That was going to be my first one.
Roberts. 74 appearances, 17 assists, and 15 goals, 106.
What does that leave me on, Dazzy?
395.
Lovely.
Russ.
Gareth Evans.
Oh. He was my next one.
Yeah, Evans, he built towards the 20. There we go. That's why, because he hasn't got his picture on there, which is sad. 81 appearances, 16 assists, and 9 goals, 106.
Spooky.
Spooky. Has
Carl Baker.
Nice.
Carl Baker.
I say that he had one.
He did, but
45 appearances.
Very underrated player.
Yeah, I thought I liked him. 45 appearances, 9 assists, and 6 goals. 60.
So many changes, didn't we? I can't
we had
think of
so
anyone
many
who was
players
there.
on like 1-year contracts that.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, did Cook keep anyone on? I don't think he did. He literally just got a whole new squad, didn't he? I'll tell you what, I'll go for Jed Wallace.
Jed Wallace, 88 appearances, 21 assists, and 11 goals. 120.
That's a really good return for a youngster.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for another youngster and go for Monsieur Connor Chaplin.
Oh, Chaplin.
Not bad shout.
Connor Chaplin, 78 appearances, 17 assists, and 5 goals. Is 100.
So what have
You
we
got
got left?
275.
Problem is, we didn't even have anyone who scored a lot, did we? I'll just go for someone. I'll go for Matt Clark.
Matt Clark, 62 appearances, 2 assists, and 1 goal, 65.
So it takes me to 205.
210.
210. I can't do maths.
That was not very quick math.
I'll go for another academy graduate, Adam Webster.
Nice. Oh, that's a good shout. Yeah, well done.
Adam Webster, 46
so
appearances, 5 assists, 3 goals, 54.
How many appearances?
Well, it says here 46.
Only 46 in League 2.
That's what it says here.
Here he goes. So what does that
market and have a look? But don't forget, he what?
Yeah, I suppose he was only really in and out.
Yeah, and he only really played 1 full season, didn't he? Really?
What does that put me on, Daz?
Yeah.
181. You go on transfer market and you can find it yourselves. All right? I'm going home.
If we can say you can go.
I'm going home.
I'm going to go for one I can't believe it's just come in my head. Jack Watman.
Oh, wow. Jeez.
He's in your head. Where's Jim?
Saying that, didn't he get injured a lot?
Yeah, what? Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
46 appearances.
See? I thought I went fucking proper big brain and then completely forgot he was injured.
Plus 1 goal and 1 assist, apparently. So that
So what does that leave me
Carlisle
with?
goal was
Carlisle went away.
The shittest celebration ever.
Any more knee slides to J Jack? Absolutely not.
So that leaves
Yeah.
Russ on 162. You've got 181.
Right.
Close this week.
I'm trying to think who was here for 2 years under. Let's go Michael Doyle.
I was about to say, neither of you have gone for the top 2 so far, and that is one of them. 90 appearances, 3 assists, and 9 goals, Michael Doyle.
He scored 9 goals for us.
No, I'm getting the way around. He scored 3 goals and he assisted 9 assists.
I was going to say.
Anyway, still has the same. 102.
What's that leaving me on?
79.
So you think we haven't done the top 2?
There's one that's at the top.
I've got an idea of the other one, but I'm not going to say it, and it'd also make me bust. So
Yeah.
End of season.
There you go. That's the top one. 90.
He must have got a few
90
assists.
appearances, 1 goal, and 19 assists, apparently.
Well, I love
110.
So will they leave me on?
52. Right, this is
okay. This is now where it gets
we're getting
fun.
to the stage now where I'm going to have to scroll through a bit more because you guys have mainly been on the first page. But you got 79.
That's doable.
I'm going to go Mark McNulty.
Not a bad shout.
Only 1 season won it, but I'm thinking appearances and goals gets it down.
He must have got about 12 to 15 goals, and then he probably got quite a few assists as well.
Right, we're at the stage now where I've got to search for players.
This is the disorganised part. It's not good enough. You should have multiple screens open.
Yeah, but still, I'd still have to search for him.
One tab for every player.
Funny enough,
Yep.
I've got 20 million tabs open. Funny enough, I haven't been looking up Mark McNulty's stats today.
Oh,
how random!
That would be random, wouldn't it? Where are we? Okay, so Mark McNulty, 34 appearances, 12 goals, and 8 assists. Apparently, it's 54.
you could have done with him, Russ.
Could have done, couldn't I? Is that what I got there?
52. So yeah, you would have finished.
So what's that leave me on 25?
25, yeah.
I feel like that's doable.
Oh, it's definitely doable. You just got to have a look.
Got to think clever.
Got to have a look.
I just got to think clever. Got to be clever about this. No, that's too many. That'd be too many games.
I can see one player which would leave you on -1 right now, but that's obviously because I'm trying to add up all the numbers at the time. Actually, no, there is a checkout. I can see one checkout, I think.
Oh God. I'm gonna go for. So there's 46 games in a season.
Yeah,
in there.
There is definitely one player I can see with a checkout, at least one. So
He might have got a few assists. Did he get a goal? Ben Davies.
Ben Davies, 43 appearances, 1 goal, 9 assists. Let me just double check that for 2 seconds.
Was that 9 assists or no assists?
43 appearances, 1 goal, and 9 assists, which puts you on -1. So
he's got to get a check out.
You got a chickity check out.
Oh, I've got an idea of a player because he was only with us for half a season.
Jermelo.
Adam Barton.
Shout.
Because he only was with us for half a year and then he went up to Partick Thistle, didn't he?
I liked Adam
No,
Barton.
he was here. No, he was here for the whole season because he played in the
Yeah,
playoffs.
he
Was he here for the whole year? I thought he only did half a season.
No, he had to play.
No, he played centre back
He
against
did,
Plymouth,
yeah.
didn't he? When we were depleted.
He didn't play often, though.
No, that's the only thing that. Yeah, he was definitely here for a whole year, but you're right. He didn't play often.
Right, let me just find him.
It might be a good shout, to be fair.
This is the Adam Barton, isn't it? Bear with me. It's just building the tension. Yeah, he did go up to Partick Thistle. We went up Partick Thistle for $100,000 apparently.
Cool. Could have bought 3 Riley Towlers for that. Or a Christian Sadie.
Right. 26.
Come on, Dad.
Hold on, I'm just double checking. So he had 26 appearances.
Oh.
Here, 1 assist.
Oh, no.
So that makes
No goals.
-2, unfortunately. So that means Russ
He's the winner. Again.
Let's all clap along.
I refuse to
Yeah,
clap
I've
along.
never clapped along.
Actually, that was quite embarrassing when that stopped halfway
Yeah,
through.
of all games for it to stop working.
Well, when it stopped working, I was like, here we go, this is an omen. Like, I thought, Jesus, that's it, we've lost. But yeah, fair play.
Right, I've just realised the time. I'll leave my task notes for next week because it might take a while.
Oh, God.
Unless you're happy to go on
No,
forever.
it's fine. I'm tired.
And I'm thinking of Haz as well because he has to edit, bless him. So, Haz, let's do a quick Harry's Who Am I, and we'll end it there.
I'll have to get the intro up quickly, as long as it loads. Yes, this is hopefully going to be one of the quickest Harry's Who Am I's we've ever had. So, clue number 1. I've played for 9 clubs over my 15-year career.
Who's been a bit of a journeyman?
9 clubs.
Just to speed that up. Just trying to think. Everyone I can think of has played for like 2 clubs. Who's journeyman? Why can't I think of anyone? Loa. I think he must have paid for about 9.
I want to go with Mark Minotti.
Mark Minotti, baby.
Clue number
I
2.
love Mark Minotti.
I played with No Pamero, Nyron Nosworthy, and Jermaine Pennant.
But not at Pompey?
Did I say that?
Oh.
I hate it when it's. I like it when it's not at Pompey because now it's like, what? Is it just someone who played with Pompey doing? Who was it? So Pennant, Nosworthy, and I can never remember all 3.
Pamero.
So Pamero's what? Spurs. Nosworthy's what? Sunderland.
Nosworthy's played for quite a few teams, hasn't he?
And then pennant is what? Liverpool, Birmingham. Who else he played for? Spanish team, wasn't it? Did he go to Spain at one point? Peter Crouch.
Wow.
Well, he must have been on the 9 club mark.
Jesus. I'm just going randomly. Ajaman.
Despite being a Spurs fan, I initially started in Arsenal's academy.
Oh. Not Jamie O'Hara, is it? Didn't he start off at Arsenal's academy?
Ooh.
Sure, I watched a podcast on him.
He might have done.
Or he was on, I don't know, I like watching Tubes do his golf and he's on there quite a lot. I'm sure they thought about it. I'm going to say Jamie O'Hara.
Whee!
Yeah.
You see.
It is indeed Jamie.
Thanks for that one, Tubes. We take that. Friend of Forgotten Pompey Goals as well. I'd like to point out. I have his phone number in my phone.
Yeah.
Get him on.
Yep. I did try, but he wanted me to go through his agent, and his agent never got back to me. So.
To be fair, he's doing sports bar now anyway, isn't he? So,
well, he's a world famous soccer player, and is a host of a.
You're on about that biggest... clip from that dating show, aren't you? No offense, Jack. From the world's biggest sports radio show
in Europe.
Oh, in Europe, yeah.
Yeah. World famous footballer. Good old Jamie. Right. Nice. Again, thinking of time. Good way to stop. Unless there's actually something you two are desperate to say, are we happy to leave it?
Oh, good, yeah.
Up the Blues.
Cool.
That's all I've got to say. Let's just hope that we get 2 or 3 more in the door by Monday night. If not, watch the Twitter meltdown. Yeah,
2 or 3 and 3 points would make us very happy, and then don't embarrass yourself against Ipswich. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think so.
Right. Let's up the Blues then, shall we?
Up the Blues.
Up the Blues.